For those who are new or unfamiliar with my content, I would like to give a disclaimer. Slow Damage has an extremely self-destructive main character, and his nonchalant comments about his lack of concern for himself does trigger my nervous laughter. If you'd like to view my content that covers darker and triggering subjects like this one, please consume it responsibly and know that this content is not for minors. I want to emphasize that if you experience any of the severe symptoms that Towa does, I highly encourage that you seek professional help rather than view this playthrough. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to part 15 of Slow Damage. Thank you for joining me today. Where did we leave off last time? Okay. If I am guessing correctly, I believe we are finally reaching the endpoint of Ray's route. I hope I'm right because otherwise there's gonna be part 16 for, well, you know, another part for Ray. It's been, Ray's route has been very interesting. I think that's all. I can't find words right now. I'm a little vocabulary less at the moment, but I'm sure I'll get there. My tinkering little brain will get there soon. So, but yes, Ray has finally, you know, he's finally kind of found clarity. It's not the right word, yes. Ray has finally found clarity, and I believe the very last scene in which I had to cut us off, sadly, because I was playing for a very long time. Last part. Ray has asked Towa to basically fight him as his kind of euphoric episode. I guess is what the implication is. I'm quite curious to the solution of this route because there's so much to it, if that makes sense. There's just so much going on in it, and so I'm wondering if the story will tie everything neatly, or if there's gonna be some small open ends left over in Ray's story. We're gonna see. I'm gonna see how this ends for Ray. It sounds very depressing. I mean this route has been like pretty depressing. Like at least with Taku, there was like some kind of like danger to distract me from the sadness. If that makes sense. There's danger in Ray's route, but like because we're like really in the dark when it comes to Ray, it's just really sad. There's just like a really harsh, like sad pressuring aura the entire chapter for Ray, until we kind of like are finally able to get through to Ray. That makes sense. But okay, let's see what they have in store for us today. Honestly, I really did want to continue, but it just went this way. We are in the... Okay, we are here. Okay, we're here. We're here. I'm afraid. I should be afraid. It's not like this is Asakura. I should oh no. I think after Asakura's chapter, like, if we go more stressful, I mean, good luck to me. Okay, let's continue. Not target. Okay.
Towa.
Say, tell me. Oh, here we go. Oh boy. How have you felt about me all this time? No. I want to give a predictable... No, let's make a joke.
Negative.
You kept trying to take care of me, so I thought you must be weird. Lord have mercy. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, okay, we're in a good... The music is like, you can tell when it's like we're in a safe space because of the music. Okay.
聞かせろ。
So tell me, why did you want to know? I've been wanting to ask for a while now. Alright then, how did you feel when I asked to be your art model? Wait, did I do this already? Hold on, one second. I feel too much sense of deja vu. Okay, no. Okay, I thought I was doing the same session again. I was like, no. Okay, let's continue. Sorry. So I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Let's be... I feel like positive is the way to go. Right? Yeah? Okay.
Positive. 悪くない。
I had a feeling it would make a crazy painting if you really went for it. Oh, there we go. Ah, so you can see the other side. Okay, I swear I've been doing... Okay. I'm surprised. Okay. I'm gonna keep going, but I swear I've done this already. If I have, I'm cutting this out. Okay. Alright, okay. Contradiction. Okay. Well, first of all, let's do...
レイの父親。
Oh, darn.
父親のことだけど。
About your dad?
嫌いよ。
I hate him. Okay, well, that's... Maybe I should read
今までのすべてを。
everything thus far. Would it be this? Yeah, okay. I was just like, I didn't know the... I feel like, is there an order? Am I crazy? Okay. Let's see.
お前はずっと葛藤し続けてるんだ
You've
な。
been conflicted about this for a long time.
そうね。ずっとそう。
I always have been, and I still
今
am
も
to this
昔
day.
もずっと。
Oh. Okay, two more, baby, two more. Okay, how does Ray feel? Okay, here we go.
まだだ。
うん。わかってる。
Okay. Let's go, kids. Ooh, good. Is that a good sign? I say good, and I'm just like, I don't even. This is just good as in, let's go. I never imagined I'd be going for round 2 with Euphoria.
いい？
Can I talk about what it was like last time? Yes. 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 Oh, he wants to fill the silence? Well, I'm gonna...
ネガティ
Time to question.
ブ。いいのか。
You sure you want to?
うん。
At this stage, it doesn't bother me. I can talk to you about it at least.
あの時は
I'm amazed I actually asked you to watch me cut with a knife.
今でも思い出せるわ。
I cringe so hard thinking about it. Bless his heart. Let's do
ポジティ
this.
ブ。つまり
You're at the end of your rope.
そう
Yeah. Back then I was desperate for a solution.
考
Okay.
えたこともあったわ。
But I was super eager to model for Euphoria, of course.
え
I've always been a big fan of yours. Make a joke. You know, oh, he's having fun. Well, if it's fun, let's
Negative.
joke, right? Guess I probably let you down.
違う。
No, you didn't. I still respect you as an artist. That hasn't changed. This is so sweet, even though, like, Ray's face is, like, beat up. Poor thing. Not that special. Oh. Let's try.
あ
Let me see if this does
あ、なん
it.
でだ
I'm not that
ま
special.
ったく、とはは、
I knew you'd say that. Hee hee. Oh,
あの時は
these days I'm glad I didn't go through with it back then.
ね
What about you, Towa? Let's discuss the
ポ
outcome.
ジティブ。そうだ。
Yeah, me too. At least now you've clearly found your answer.
うん、
Yeah, I don't feel the same fear and dread that I used to.
そういえば
The manager said you don't see any artistic value in your own body. Ah, yes, we're here. It's true. I said as much at one point. I always believed I could never change myself. Respond rationally, show a little affection. I
Positive.
feel like positive
Omae.
affirmation. But deep down, you knew you were wrong, didn't you?
わからない。
Did I? I'm not sure. You can change yourself.
あ
Let's see. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. So because you felt you couldn't change yourself, that meant body mods were off limits too.
私ね。
I just kept thinking, what's the point of trying? I'm just that insecure. Nothing.
お前の傷を
Alright, here we go. So... Is it... We already did that. This one? Ah,
人体
because
改造
I mean he mentioned it, so... My little brain working overtime.
人体改造は趣味なのか
Body money.
大好き。人体の芸術よ。それでね、
The reason I don't put any body art on myself is...
変えられないって思った。
Oh...
だから、
I think that's why I love body art, at least this way even I have the power to change someone. He spoke slowly, his eyes averted. It looked like he was still struggling with some lingering doubts. Oh, bad. Not the feelings. One more, baby. Okay, yeah, so what is his...
今度こそいけるか
You can go... Oh,
そ
yeah,
の
yeah.
ために
That's right.
ここにいるから。
Oh boy, here we go. Hee-hoo, hee-hoo.
いい？
Could I talk about my mom for a bit? I never talked about her, right? Yeah,
ポジ
agree.
ティ
We have to.
ブ聞かせてくれ
Gotcha.
聞いてほしい。
But now, I want to tell you about her. Can you explain why you've never... Let's ask.
じゃあ
Can you explain why you never felt like talking about her?
どうしよ
I mean, I love her and all. but never felt the need to bring her out.
ごめんなさい。
Sorry, I think I'm gonna pass after all. I feel like it'll only make me feel worse. Oh no!
私ね。
Is this... Am I not Gucci? Wait, that's like... Oh boy. Sometimes I want to, sure, but I'm scared that maybe she left me behind for a reason.
少しね。
This is gonna sound dumb, but sometimes I worry that no one needs me around. Rationally... Jet.
Positive.
I mean, he's anxious.
安心しろ。
Everyone in your life cares about you. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't be thinking like this. Okay. Ooh.
今までのすべてを。
Everything thus far. Okay. So he's... we don't... Well, he was talking about his mom, and we already did that. I mean... There's no mom here, right? Oh, it is father. Okay, I was like, I mean, it would be father, right? That's the only other conclusion, you know.
父親のことは。
Oh boy.
大嫌い。本当に。でも、
I don't blame you, honey. What I hate most of all is the idea of spending my whole life being bitter.
だから、
If I had to spend every day agonizing over that, I'd be miserable. So,
分かってる。
I'm gonna accept myself. The good, the bad, the contradictions, all of it. Oh,
向き
bless.
合いたいの。
I want to give myself permission to exist. That's how I feel.
今のレイなら望み通りにできるだろう。来いよ、全部。俺にぶつけろ。
Oh boy, here we go.
うん。
Fight club time.
もう、迷わない。
Okay, oh boy. This is gonna be something. Oh, here we go. Are they gonna fight it in the like living room? I'm just like, oh boy, here we go. I don't know what to expect right now. They're talking about beating each other up so casually here. Oh gosh, not the back. not the empty lot. After we talked, we left the condo building and walked around to the small empty lot out back. Then we faced off beneath the chilly night sky.
行くよ。
Oh boy. Wait, is that a pun? Sorry, I'm terrible. Ooh, here we go. Ray crouched down. Okay, here we go. Ray sorry. I got sort of lame like Ray crouched down low and came charging in. No hesitation, no mind games. As the gap between us shrank to 0, he swung his fist. Ooh. Right when his fist nearly grazed my nose, I leapt back. A gust of air brushed my cheek. He followed up with his other fist, but I dodged again, then grabbed his outstretched arm. I twisted his arm up, then threw my fist at his jaw. Ooh! You go, Towa. He leaned backwards to dodge, then swung a kick at my legs. I jumped back, he pulled his arm out of my grasp, then swung his fist at me again. Ooh! Ooh! A white-hot impact collided with my cheek and sent my vision spinning. A beat later, the taste of copper filled my mouth. Ooh. He came in for a follow-up attack, so I put some distance between us to regain my balance.
本気で来なさいよ。
Oh, he means... Sorry. Alright, sorry, I'm sorry. After all this, like, sadness this whole chapter, I'm allowed to laugh, okay? He fixed me with a provocative smirk. I stared back at him quietly, then barreled forward. I reached out and grabbed him by the collar, then used my free hand to punch him. As he grimaced, I followed up with a headbutt. He staggered sideways. When I swung my fist for a third attack, he caught her with one hand, then headbutted me in the jaw. The dull thud of colliding bone reverberated in my head, and I nearly bit my tongue. As my vision pitched to and fro, I caught a glimpse of Ray, blood dripping from his nose, grinning like he was having a blast. Bro, he's in. Ooh, it's getting spicy. The sight sent a chill down my spine, and I grinned back. I could feel something wet trickling down my lips. I reached up to wipe it, and my fingers came away red. Ooh. Oh, that's a spicy CG right there. After that, we stopped dodging and blocking. From then on, it was an all-out fist fight. We punched it. You know, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be very real though. If Ray can like pummel dudes in money matches, like, I'm surprised Towa hasn't fallen over yet. Like, it's hardly fair. Like, you know, Towa like barely has like muscle mass. But anyway, sorry. I'm reading Towa the Filth for no reason. So, okay, let's continue. We punched each other at point blank range. So close, we could feel each other's breath. My knuckles sank into his flesh. And when I hit the bone, the vibration traveled up the back of my hand and through my body. Ooh. Collision, pain, warm blood, and labored breathing. Sus. Did it belong to me or him? Sus. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I can no longer tell the difference. Like automated machines, we punched each other over and over. Ray started coughing. He turned his face to the side and spat out bloody saliva. Without missing a beat, I punched him in the face as hard as I could. Let's go. He staggered, nearly collapsed, but steadied himself just in time. Then he gritted his teeth and launched into a counterattack. I took the punch and felt myself slump sideways. Ooh, girl. This seemed to exhaust the last of his strength, because he collapsed to his knees. Likewise, my legs gave out, and gravity pulled me down to the concrete. As he both gasped for breath, Ray rolled onto his stomach and started to crawl towards me. Head spinning, I looked up and caught sight of him. He reached out with a shaky hand and grabbed my collar. And he pulled me in until his eyes were inches from mine. Spider-Man kiss? Not so sorry. Oh, thank goodness, something nice. Everything went dark and something touched my lips, but it wasn't his knuckles. After a few seconds, the sensation vanished. One kiss was all it took to express just how worked up we both were. Instead of fading, the post-fight satisfaction was escalating higher and higher, seeking release. You know what's about to happen. Chasing his lips, I reached out and wrapped a hand around the back of Ray's head. Oh, girl. Why is it sus? I nibbled his upper lip, then ran my tongue from his bottom lip to his teeth. He opened his mouth and extended his tongue in kind. Sorry, I almost said long, and I was like, that's not in that sentence. I was like, I'm conditioned. Okay. He wrapped his hand around my head to pull me in, and our kiss deepened. Slick with saliva, our tongues battled for dominance, almost like it was an extension of the fist fight. We shifted positions again and again, devouring each other from every angle, until eventually we were in a full embrace. We rolled around on the ground, taking turns on top, while kissing passionately. When we finally pulled away, Ray had me pinned beneath him. With the night sky as a backdrop behind him, he looked different somehow. Maybe it was the hungry Hunger Games. It was maybe it was the hungry look in his eyes.
ひどい顔。
You too, fool. He snickered.
お前もだろ。
知ってる。
As we barely grazed each other's lips, Ray gazed at me feverishly.
すごく体が熱い。散らさなきゃ。
Me, like, here it comes.
最後まで見届けてほしいって言ったでしょ。私が本当の自分を受け入れるまで。
You know what? This would actually explain Ray's aversion to anything like physically intimate, actually. Because if he's had essentially like dysphoria his whole life, and him like having problems with engaging in intimacy it makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. So okay, sorry, my TED Talk soapbox. Okay, let's go.
でも実はね、
What is-
もう一つ望みがあって。
what is it? What is it? He hesitated ever so slightly, then let out a breath.
私ずっと前からトワに憧れてて、
Oh,
トワのことを見てたんだけど、桐原に殺されかけた時、私をかばってくれたでしょ。
maybe.
あの時からなんだかトワのことを変に意識しちゃって、
Oh boy. Okay.
憧れだけじゃなくなっちゃったの。 そしたらね、トワを見てると
You can say it.
変な気分に
You
なる
can
こと
say
が
it. You can say it.
トワの指とか唇とか傷跡とか、最初はボディアートの対象として興味を持ってるんだって思った。トワは傷跡をいじられるのが好きだって言ってたけど、
Oh.
触ったらどんな反応するのかなとか、
Sorry.
痛いのが
That
好
probably
きだっ
sounds
て
so weird.
唇に噛みついたら
Oh.
どんな顔するのか、
Okay, okay. So let it out.
なんか
Just be free.
そういうことばっかり考えるようになっちゃって。
Oh.
そういう時ってね、誰かをめちゃくちゃ殴りたくなるような暴力的な
Oh
気分
my gosh. Not like this.
だから
I see.
私今すっごく興奮してる。
Oh boy.
自分の下にいるトワを。
Towa is so gonna be like, yeah. His eyes glinted dully. He pushed me down hard against the ground.
こんな風に誰かに思うの初めてで、自分でも戸惑ってる。
Interesting, though.
Atashi.
That's interesting.
トワに受け入れて
Real
ほ
talk.
しいの。
I'm sorry. I forget that Ray kind of talks a little differently than everyone else. I think it's good. Just then, he seemed to realize something. He smiled shyly.
って
Oh,
私とか
oh,
言って
cute.
ちゃダメよね。この言葉遣いも
You
すぐには
don't
直せないかもしれないけど、
Well, I mean, yes.
変わ
People
りたい。
people must change, but
変
not
えていきたい。
he doesn't have to change the way he talks. I think that's cute that he thinks so, though. That Towa makes him wanna do things, you know, like do positive things. He blinked slowly.
俺トワが好きだ。
I
トワ
was
が欲しい。
I was waiting for it.
トワを抱きたい。
Work. Okay.
抱いていい。
Is that
Towa.
is that cool with you? Is that sorry? That's just is that cool? I looked at him sharply. Yes, as Towa does. The feminine lilt had left his voice, which caught me by surprise. Oh. Before now, I can't, you know, the subtleties of the Japanese language kind of miss me because I'm not like, I don't understand like that much. Before now, I never thought of him this way. But now that we just finished beating each other black and blue, I felt like I finally understood him. The pain he had given me spoke volumes. Blood and sweat dripped from his face onto his chin, where it trickled to my lips. I licked it up with my tongue. Of course you did. Okay. I reached down and cupped his cheek. As I touched his still bleeding cut, he narrowed his eyes, unable to wait a moment longer. Wrong tone. He leaned down and bit my lower lip. He pulled away, grinning smugly, then ran his tongue over the spot. According to Towa, yes. Yeah. Oh boy. Smirking mischievously, he wrapped both arms around me. Yeah, we're here now. We're here. Oh mercy! I feel like much more at peace. I slid an arm around his back and clamped down slightly. Oh boy. Yep. Okay. See you in a second. Ooh. Back at his place, we started making out as soon as we set foot in the bedroom. Fumbling our way to the bed, our tongues grew impatient, wriggling wetly. I feel like I'm like interrupting, you know. But Taco was like different because it was just kind of like a go in every situation kind of beat. You know what I'm saying? So, like right now, I'm like I feel like I shouldn't be here. Like I feel like I should be somewhere else. I feel like I'm intruding, you know. Our lips were practically glued together. Then Ray started to rip his shirt off. Oh, okay. I'll see you in a little bit, for real. Okay. Likewise, I started to strip, but before I could, he grabbed my hands and pinned me down on the sheets. Ooh, okay. Ooh. When we finally pulled apart, he moved to my neck, kissing me as he pulled my shirt off. With my chest scars laid bare, he paused to admire them. Ooh. Breathing feverishly, he leaned in close to my chest. Ooh, girl. His tongue traced along one of the scars while he ran a finger over another. The more he played with my scars, the more my loins started to ache. But his soft caresses were exasperating. I couldn't help but want him to get rough. No. The urge compelled me to sit up and bite down on the first thing I saw, which happened to be his shoulder.
Towa.
Boy, you thought. Okay. I licked the tiny trace of blood from the bite mark, then kissed it loudly. Ooh. Ooh, girl. A growl left his throat, and he sank his teeth hard into the big scar that bisected my chest. Oh yeah, the big one. Oh. Pain shot through every inch of my body, and I cried out. This was the sensation I craved. Towa's like, this is what I want. No. As Ray nibbled on one of the raised scars, trailed both hands down my torso, digging his nails in. It felt like he was going to rip my scars out, and it made my hips spasm. The more pain I felt, the more pleasure traveled to my groin. His mouth moved from my scars to my nipple, and he crushed it between his molars. Ooh! The stabbing pain made me cry out louder than ever. Ooh, girl. As he used his tongue and teeth to toy with my nipple, he unzipped my pants and slid them off, along with my underwear. As I relaxed, I relinquished my grip on his hips and looked into his eyes.
とはどうだった？よかった。
Once he caught his breath, he looked at me with a mixture of trepidation and
よくな
bashfulness.
かったように見えたか？
Mood. He shook his head.
お前は。
幸せ。
He beamed at me and slowly hugged me tighter.
変われたか？
At this, he paused to ruminate on it.
何がどう変わったってはっきりとは言えないし、まだ違和感はあるかな。あまりにも長いこと自分は女性だって思い込もうとしてたからだと思う。トワと本気で殴り合ってこんな風になって、変な言い方かもしれないけど、今はすがすがしい気分。多分きっと自分自身を受け入れられたのかも。
もし迷いが出てきたら、その時はまたいくらでも殴ってやるよ。
Works. I was joking, but he didn't laugh.
殴られてもくれる？
ああ。
I nodded casually and he chuckled.
嘘。でもありがとう。大丈夫。私、俺のすべてを知ってくれてる人がいるだけで全然違うから。とは好き。大好き。
Again, I felt the same sense of comfort. My heart felt light, and my chest was filled with that sweet, aching feeling. It was bizarre.
でも
Suddenly, Ray's expression clouded over, and he looked at me
トワは
anxiously.
痛い方が好きだから物足りなくなったら
I
他の
thought he
人
was
のと
gonna
ころ
ask
に
this.
行っちゃ
I
うのか
totally
な。
thought he was gonna ask this
やっぱ
question.
り
My gaze drifted as I mulled it over. Then I looked back at him.
優しいのも悪くないって思わせるんじゃないのか、俺に。
That's my boy.
そうなるまで時間がかかるかもしれないし。
He sounded so insecure. I reached out and gave his nose a pinch.
短縮しろ。
Speed it up. I love it here.
どうやって？
毎日抱くとか。
Hey yo. He blushed and looked at me in surprise. Then he smiled.
いいの？
Hey yo.
聞くんじゃなくて、やれ。
Ooh. Spicy. As I spoke, I pinched his nose again.
も
He chuckled, grinned at me, then leaned in.
うトワ
With a light peck on the lips, he smiled at me lovingly.
ありがとう。
Sorry. The sun had already risen, so we hopped in the shower together and got 2 good hours of sleep. It wasn't much, but I slept like a log with no dreams plaguing me. For me, this was pretty uncommon. Seriously, I couldn't remember the last time I'd slept this good. When I woke up, Ray was no longer lying next to me. I could have foreseen that. After using up all my strength in the fist fight, my body felt like lead, and it took a few minutes before I could sit upright. As I stared down at my feet, head empty, I realized that something smelled good. Ray was probably cooking something. I slowly rose to my feet and left the bedroom. It's not, I don't think it's like fully over yet, so I'm just like... On the other side of the living room, I could see him with his back turned, bustling around in the kitchen. His smoke was a bright yellow-orange, swaying gently. The curtains were open, and pale light streamed in through the windows, blinding me. Ray was frying something up in a skillet. He heard the door and looked over his shoulder.
あ、トワおはよ もうすぐご飯できるけど、タクからもらったシュークリーム食べてて。
I looked at the dining table and noticed the cream puff sitting on a plate.
お前のは
さっき食べちゃった。
Already, of course he did. He's like, I'm good. He answered in a chipper voice. I walked over to the table, pulled out a chair, and sat down. The clock on the edge of the kitchen counter indicated 9 a.m. It had been a long time since I woke up refreshed this early in the morning. I wasn't especially hungry, but took one of the cream puffs and bit into it. The custard filling oozed out all over my fingers and onto the plate.
はい、お待たせって。
He walked over carrying a plate of food, but as soon as he saw me, his jaw dropped.
ちょっと何やってんの？
What's he doing?
何って言われた通りに。
As he set the plate of steaming hot French toast in front of me, he blushed and averted his eyes.
朝から甘い匂いさせないでよ。落ち着かなくなるから。
だったか。
I mean, ew.
もう。
Blushing beet red, he glared back at me, then stalked off to the kitchen. As I slowly worked on my cream puff, he brought more plates out to the table. Oh, he's eating the cream puff. Soon the table was decorated with salad, sausages, fruit, and dang, work. Okay. Oh, that looks.
量が多くない。
Just ate. Why am I so hungry? Like, I'm just like, food. It's probably because I haven't really had like a lot of tasty stuff recently. I've just been eating out of convenience, eating because I gotta eat, you know, and I'm just like, oh, tasty food. Muttered to myself as I looked at all the food.
せっかくだからと思って。今日は特別な日だし。いろんな意味で。
Smiling shyly, he set down 2 forks, 2 spoons, and 2 knives.
トワとのこともあるけど、もしかしたらこれが最後になるかもしれないから。だから食べきれなかったら残して。私、俺が料理を好きな理由ってみんなが喜んでくれるからっていうのもあって。美味しいものを食べて喜ぶのって男女関係ないでしょ。トワは違うかもしれないけど、美味しいふりだけでもしてくれると嬉しいかも。
With a smile, he went back into the kitchen and poured 2 glasses of orange
食べよっ
juice.
か。
He sat down at the table and pressed his hands together. This might be my last time. In other words, he might lose his money match. I picked up my fork and knife, cut a bite of the French toast, and put it in my mouth.
どう？美味しい？
The sadness came back. I chewed and swallowed before
嘘
answering.
でも嬉しい。ありがとう。
He beamed from ear to
嘘じゃ
ear.
ない。
え？
He fell still and looked up from his plate.
今も前もな。お前の料理でまずいと思ったことなんてない。
It was the honest truth of how I felt. Furthermore, this French toast was easily one of the best things he'd ever made for me. And since I normally didn't care about food at all, a normal person would probably find it completely divine. His face crumpled like he was on the verge of tears, but he swallowed it all back and
あ
smiled.
りがとう。
After that, we chatted aimlessly for a while. Normally, I would have stopped eating after a few bites, but today I ate a decent amount. Let me pray. Let me pray I didn't get no sadness in the globe. During a lull in the conversation, Ray paused and looked up at me.
あのね、トワ、マネーマッチ、絶対に勝つから。だから、見てて、最後まで。
Alright, we'll go watch, baby. I got you, boo. He spoke with firm intent. I nodded quietly. Then he let out a sigh of relief, gazed back at me and smiled.
無事に戻ってくることができたら、絵を描いてね。あと、またエッチしようね。
His tone was bashful, but his words were still carried a weight to them. I set my knife and fork down, looked back at him, and nodded once more. Despair. Oh no. 10 a.m. I stood at the clinic's side entrance. Oh, not this music. This music's not good. Then I pulled my phone out of my coat pocket and called Sakaki.
どうしたとは
今日もレイの試合があるんだよ。
From Ray!
本人だよ。
本人が見に来いって言ってきたのかそりゃいいな
Oh boy.
観戦したい。
ああ構わん今日は23時からだな22時に事務所に来い
Ain't nothing good about these gangsters.
じゃあな
The call ended and I stuffed my phone back into my pocket. Then I unlocked the door and walked in. The stress is real. When I arrived back at my apartment, I pulled off my coat and sat on the sofa. Normally I would have turned on the TV on, but I didn't bother. Instead, I leaned back against the sofa and looked up at the ceiling. After a while, I heard the elevator doors open and someone walked out.
とは戻ってきてるのか
Taku! I heard Taku's voice and then the door opened. He walked in dressed in his white lab coat. Then he fixed me with a conflicted look.
例にはあったか
Oh, he saw Ray, alright.
あ
He saw Ray.
様子はどうだった
Fantastic. Oh boy. I sat up straight and looked up at him.
今夜、レイの試合がある。
もし負けたら
戦う前から負けた時のことを考えるのか。
考えるだろう負けたらレイは
レイは今、命を懸けることで、ずっと憎んできた父親と、いつの間にかその言いなりになっていた自分と戦おうとしている。それを止める権利は誰にもない。
Unable to vent his frustration, he fell silent. Okay, let me take my little TED talk. Sorry. Hold on, let me adjust myself. You know, the greatest thing about Towa is that even though people may assume he lacks emotion or empathy or anything of that nature, Towa is very fair. He said, you guys, he said, we have no right to stop Ray from fighting in this death match. And of course, Towa, at this point, this is my estimation, Towa obviously doesn't want Ray to perish. It's like in Taku's route, where when Taku goes to jail, Towa says, okay, make sure to come back quickly. Which means that Towa, is essentially saying in his very muted emotional state, he's like, please come back quickly because I'll miss you, essentially. Not to put words into Towa's mouth, but Towa would be like, yeah, it's fine. But yeah, in this case, Towa does, he believes, I don't want to say he believes, basically Towa lets people choose the direction they take, right? Because there are people who I read this somewhere where it's the reason therapists exist is because therapy is supposed to be, for the most part, unless there's malpractice, it's a person who has no agenda. The agenda is purely to make sure you become well, whatever well means for people. But the reason it's you can't therapize to a person who has a relationship with you, because their agenda, instead of looking at things plainly and evenly and what's the word, without bias. There we go. It's hard to look at a person without bias. Even me, I used to always very preach. I used to be very preachy about it. That I was pretty good at keeping down my bias. These days, that's not very true. But you know, I still try to practice like basically practicality and subdue the bias. But we're all human, and we can't. You know, no matter how much we try, we're always gonna have some kind of bias in any situation. But Towa, even if he cares for the people around him, he doesn't impose. He doesn't press what he wants. He always asks the other person, what do you want? What do you want for yourself? What do you want from me? What do you? It's about you, not him, not the me type of thing. So which is so I already like really love Towa as a main character, but I love Towa the more I see that it's like a lot of people like make fun of his characters in the game. Characters in the game like to make fun of the fact that it's just like, oh, Towa's kind of weird and like kind of odd and doesn't have a lot of feelings, but it's like Towa is very fair, and he lets people realize what is best for them on their own, if that makes sense. So okay, sorry, I love Towa. Like, I love Towa. So okay, let's see where this takes us.
俺は試合を見に行く。今夜23時からだ。来るなら連絡しろ。
Yeah, let's go, baby. He stared at the floor in silence for a long moment.
今は答えられない。
Muttering, he left the room. Oh, poor Taku. Yeah, Taku really struggles like with his morality, if that makes sense, right? After that, I killed time by doing art in my room till it was time to meet up with Sakaki. I was just doodling rather than painting, but I filled the entire sketch pad. Work. By the time I ran out of room, it was still just 5 p.m., so I flopped down on the sofa and idled the time away, drinking and smoking. I didn't feel like going anywhere, so I wasted my time staring at the kaleidoscopic images flying by on the TV screen. Oh, girl. Just before 10 p.m. rolled around, I left the building through the side entrance and headed to the Takasato office. Oh, girl. When I arrived, I found a black car idling outside. The driver spotted me, rolled down his window, and informed me that Sakaki was already at the venue. In other words, I was on my own. I hopped in the car. Oh no, is this... I feel like this is so bad. This is not good. Outside the window, the scenery rolled past in a blur. Oh boy. This doesn't seem good. About 20 minutes later, we arrived at the hotel and parked in the Youngaround Park. Okay. Oh, I was gonna be like... When I got out, I noticed someone standing in front of the elevator.
Yo.
Yes? Sakaki pulled his hand out of his pants pocket and waved at me with a smile.
待ってたぞ。試合が始まるまで少し話さねえか。
I don't want to talk to you right now,
こ
okay?
っちも話が。
Oh no.
なんだ言ってみろ。
When I approached, he pressed the elevator call button.
タクが試合を見に来るかもしれない。その時は通してくれ。
Ooh.
ああ、村瀬の先生か。まあいいだろう。友人が命をかける生き様ってやつを一度は見ておかねえとな。
You know, I wanted to like think that Sakaki was like alright. Honestly, he's just fake. At least Tono was, at least he wasn't fake. Gosh, I can't believe this. He nodded pensively as he watched the elevator's progress on the screen. Then the doors opened and we walked in. I'm scared.
最近はな、とは
What? The elevator quietly began to
マ
move.
ネーマッチに出たがる人間が
Oh?
すっかりいなくなっちまったな。まあ当然といえば当然なんだが、誰だって死にたがねえからな。で、少し前によ、出場予定だったやつが急に自殺しちまって穴が開いたんだ。
Homie took himself out. He's like, nah, I'm just gonna bounce.
その試合はもう公表してたもんで、最悪試合を中止にしなきゃならなくてよ。
Oh no.
その時だ、泉の情報が入ってきたのは。最初は父親を試合に出すつもりだったんだ。
Wait, what?
よくよく調べてみたら、デスマッチ好きの息子がいるってことが分かったんだ。
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
しかも強いことで名が知れてるって話じゃねえか。マネーマッチの選手としては
Oh, you're
申し分ないだろう。
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry I ever sort of liked you. I'm pissed off. Everyone sucks. At the first floor, the elevator slowed to a stop and the doors opened. Sakaki walked out and I followed after him. Compared to floor B1 with its dreary passageway, floor 1 was entirely different. No one would ever think this place led to a deadly cage match. He walked toward the casino area, then stopped. Oops, my bad.
泉を助けたいか?
What does that mean?
どういう意味だ?
I hate this! Oh my gosh! I hate gangsters. Except you, Juicy. The only one. Okay, I like a few others, but he's the only one who's not totally scummy. Okay. Scrutinized him cautiously. Slowly but surely, he turned to face me.
ちょっとした提案なんだが、カジノで少し遊ばねえか?
What are you talking about?
ああ、せっかく来たんだしよ。シンプルに遊べるポーカーなんてどうだ?
Why is he running his mouth? I hate it.
純粋に俺とお前との勝負で、お前が勝ったら金を払う。そうだな。
Are you trying to put...
3億出そうか。
Wait, what is this about? What? He fixed me with a provocative smirk. 300 million, an amount equal to raise debt.
お前が俺に勝ったら、今日の試合でもし泉が負けたとしても、借金をチャラにしてやる。敗者の処分は試合が終わった後だが。
Okay, honestly though, I don't think Towa's gonna take it. Because that would mean like invalidating Ray's feelings and the risk he's taking. That's what I'm assuming. But Ray, Towa might just play just to play. I don't know.
ただし、俺が勝った場合は、一つだけ言うことを聞いて。
Oh, that's not good.
内容は?
勝ったら教えてやるよ。何？大したことじゃない。それで、お前が勝てば知る必要もなく。
What are you talking?
どうだ？乗るか?
Okay, I hate it here. I hate all gangsters. I hate the Takusatsu-gumi. I nodded without hesitation.
よし、それじゃ行こうか。
Pleased, he turned and headed off with a smile. No, what if he rigs it? It's a casino. Ugh. The customers threw their money around, expressions shifting between hope and despair. Sakaki walked to an empty poker table and sat down. The dealer greeted us from the other side of the table. I sat down next to Sakaki. He pulled some casino chips out of his pocket and divided them between us. Absolutely. Oh, please. Oh, please, I don't wanna... I don't wanna live this life.
単純なやつがいいだろう。ルールは5カード、ドロー、ハウスルール付きだ。
Okay, I don't know poker.
手持ちのチップ
I
は
mean, not like it
30枚
matters.
レイズ、ベッドの上限は5枚で、1ベッドにつきレイズは1回まで、参加料は1枚だ。
Have mercy on me. The key to winning at poker. Getting under your opponent's skin. Trying to fluster him.
わかった。
進行はうちのディーラーに任せるが、問題ないな。
No, but
Ah.
whatever. I already agreed to the terms of his little game, so I wasn't about to accuse him of foul play at this stage. Regardless of any unfair advantages he may have had, I was going to beat him anyway. The dealer took 10 cards from the pile in the center of the table. 5 for me, and 5 for Sakaki, face down. Though we both put in our ante of 1 chip.
それじゃあ始めるか。お前のベッドからでいいぜ。
Let's go.
ベッド1枚。
At this, he smirked.
最初は様子見か。まあ常識だな。俺はコールだ。
The next draw phase. Sakaki discarded 3 of his cards. And the smoke darkened. Slightly. I suspected he might have gotten some good cards.
しかしお前は本当に表情が変わんねえな。こ
Towa
後はどう
literally
するんだ
has like resting, like I don't care expression, so perfect for poker.
1枚だ。
まあ所詮だしな。挨拶代わりに1枚レイズといこうか。
Okay. Sakaki put 2 more chips in the pot. Then he looked at me probingly. Likewise, I added another chip for a total of 8 in the pot. Next, it was time to reveal our hands. I don't know anything about poker, so... Sakaki had a 3 of a kind, and I had 1 pair. My loss. But instead of looking at his cards, I looked at his smoke.
ああ、これは悪いな。だが、幸先のいいスタートだ。
Okay. Now Sakaki was up to 34 chips while I was down to 26. Okay. The next round started and we put in our antes.
ベッド1枚。
コール。
During the draw phase, Sakaki's smoke darkened even more. He must have gotten a really good hand. He shot me a probing look, but I focused on my own cards.
それじゃあ3枚ベッドだ。どうする？トワ先生。
You're hateful.
逃げてばっかり言ったのもな。男のキレはこういう時に出るもんだ。だろ。
Ugh. Don't do it, Towa. Just act like I'm worried. Well, it would be the rain,
ネ
right?
ガティブ。ちょっと黙っててくれ。
Be quiet for a second. There we go. I ignored his prodding and kept staring at my cards.
おいおい、男なら勝負に出ようぜ。
Do we have a good card set, Towa? Ugh, the stress is real.
コールだ。
お、いいね。勝負だ。
He thinks he's so smart. Then the cards were revealed. He had a flush, and I had a 2 pair. I had lost again.
悪いな。
He grinned in amusement.
今日はバカ好きだ。ちなみに、八百長なんざしてねえからな。
I like how he has to
まだまだ
specify.
勝負の途中だ。
I'm like,
落ち込むな
it
よ。
doesn't really matter what you say. Like, even if it is rigged, like, who's gonna, you know, who's gonna say it? Okay, I should act like I'm stressed out. I
ネ
think
ガ
it-
ティブ。
Yeah, because of me. I let out a frustrated sigh. Yeah, okay, good. If there's anything I'm good at, it's pretending I'm frustrated. Playing dumb, baby. Sakaki was up to 39 chips and I had 21. Now it's time for the third round.
5枚ベット
He looked at me in surprise.
5枚そんなにいい手が入ったのか
さあな
He gazed at me conflicted, probably desperate to get a read on me.
こいつは怖いな
That's dicey.
ほら降りる
Work. I should convince him it's the smart move. Cause then he'll bet more, right? Yeah, let's do this.
ポジ
I
ティブ
think that's right.
男の器量はこういう時に出るもんじゃなかったのか
時と場合によるな本当の男ってのは状況を冷静に判断して現実的な
Because he folded, he lost his ante, putting him at 38 chips and me at 22. During the fourth round, he started with 1 chip.
とりあえずベッド1
Oh,
枚
he
だ
getting sussy now.
レイズ5枚
また5枚かどういうことだ
His expression was tinged with a hint of panic, and his smoke swayed restlessly. Come on, girl. I should charge in like a wrecking ball. Recoil. Let's press. I think that's right.
また逃げるのか
調子に乗るなよほら降りる
Okay. Now that Sakaki had folded a second time, his chips were down to 36 and mine were at 24. During the fifth round, I noticed him sneaking glances at me. With a perfectly blank face, I put 5 chips down.
ベッド5枚
Instantly, his face twisted in fear.
てめえまさかブラフじゃねえだろうな
Oh, I see. I should act confident. Yeah, no, that's the one. We need that.
コールしないのか逃げてばっかりってのはな
I echoed his own words back at him, and he clucked his tongue.
5枚
Let's go. We moved to the draw phase, and Sakaki's wavering smoke darkened. I looked at him blankly.
5枚ベッド
なんだと
Gritting his teeth, he glared at me. After a moment of contemplation, he sighed and leaned back against his chair.
まあここは花を持たせてやるよ
Ooh, he's mad. You go, Towa. Chuckling, I purposely showed him my cards. Absolutely nothing of value. With a malicious grin, I leaned forward and he glared at me. Oh, he leaned forward and glared at me.
この野郎いい度胸してんじゃねえか
Why is he acting like this? He's the one who asked me. He's the one who asked Towa. Why you didn't get cute, bro? He's acting like if he lose, he gonna lose anything big. 300 million to the for a yakuza that runs an entire lone island nation. Please. That's nothing for this dude. Those the debt collection is just for power reasons, His smoke swelled and thrashed like he was about to attack me. I made a show of smirking at him, then leaned back against my chair. Express? Make it obvious? I think it's this one, right?
ポーカーってこういうもんじゃないのか
Okay. Sixth round. Both of us were back at 30 chips, the amount we started with. He glared at me.
ベッド5枚
Word.
どうだあんまり舐めてんじゃねえぞ
You're the one who asked!
5枚
Work! As I spoke, I smirked defiantly.
今度は降りねえ。
Come on, Towa. You got it, baby. There were now 22 chips in the pot, heading into the drop phase. Sakaki discarded one
降
card.
りないのか。
Ooh. His brow furrowed deeply.
つつましく生きるのも賢明な判断だ。
やけに煽るな。何か意味でもあるのか。
It's the game, fool. What?
別に。
Nothing. Oh, nothing. That's me.
クソくらいだ。ベッド。
Work. Now the pot was up to 27 chips.
残り19枚ならまだ巻き戻せる。降りても構わんぞ。
I'm not going to call it. Oh, work. Work. Let's go. Yeah. 1000%, baby. Let's go.
コールはしない。
それでいい。コインはいただく。
Oh.
レイズ5枚だ。
Oh. The chair clattered as he leapt to his feet. His smoke contorted so viciously, I could practically hear it screaming.
降りるか。
つかざく立ち狂った野郎だ。吠え面かくなよ。ゴールだ。
Let's go, baby. Confidently, he flipped his cards over to reveal a straight.
ストレート。どうだ？
Does Towa have a royal flush? I will scream. I flipped over my cards very matter-of-factly, then looked up at him.
フラッシュだ。
Oh! Ooh, okay. He stared at me in shock.
妙に煽ってくるから豚なんじゃねえかと思ったんだが余裕だったんだ。本当に読めねえな、お
And
め
if
え
this
は。
chapter did anything, it made me hate Sakaki almost just as much as Tono. He let out a heavy sigh.
いや、あんたは慎重だから挑発しても簡単には乗ってこないと思ってた。だから3ラウンド目にあんたが降りて、その後にいい手が回ってきた時は少し安心した。
ってことは、お前も最後の最後にかけてたってわけか。
He's getting my nerves. I'm just like, that's how poker works.
もちろん。
Patience is important in poker, and I don't know why Sakaki has chose poker, thinking he was just gonna crush Towa immediately. Like Towa's face is literally always this. Like this is Towa's default face. Like anyway, sorry, I just have emotions. He stared at me stunned, then his gaze shifted away. He chuckled, shook his head.
やれやれ。いつもならこんな荒っぽいかけ方はしないんだがな。お前が食えないのは知ってたからよ。
Whatever.
必要以上に慎重になりすぎちゃった。そこを逆手に取られて見事に煽りに乗せられちまったってわけだ。
Oh, excuse me.
さすがはあの人の。
What is that supposed to mean? Rude?
残り9枚じゃ負けたも同然だ。持ってけ。
Ooh. He tossed his chips in my
お
direction.
前の勝ちだとは。約束した通り。
Leave
金は用意
it.
する。
I don't know if that's a good thing. I hate Yakuza. I nodded and started to rise from my seat, but Sakaki raised a hand to stop me.
泉は地下2階の控え室にいるが、会いに行くか。
No. What
いや、いい。
I didn't want to break Ray's focus right before his big match. I rose to my feet and started to head for the elevator, but stopped.
どうした？
Sakaki looked at me
レイ
suspiciously.
の父親はこのホテルで働いてるんだよな。
ああ、そうだ。
場所が知りたい。
場所？会いたいのか？なんだ、罵倒でもするつもりか？
ま、そんなところだ。
Something of that nature, yeah. At this, he smirked dryly.
借金がチャラになったってことは伝えるのか？
You are the small-minded one, okay?
伝える必要がない。
Yeah, no need to tell him. Make him sweat, you know?
そうか。そうだろうな。でだ。従業員の居場所なんぞいちいち把握してなくてな。呼び出してやるから待っとろよ。
He pulled out his phone and placed a call.
下のやつがここに来る。泉を呼び出した部屋に連れてくからよ。俺は先に会場へ行ってるからな。
This is like really sus. I'm like, nah, I don't appreciate this, Sakaki. I'm like stressed out. He tucked his phone into his pocket. Then with a wave, he walked off. Okay. After that, a man in a suit arrived and escorted me into the elevator to floor B2. Then we walked down the same undecorated hallway Sakaki had brought me to last time. The man in the suit directed me to a side door, then left. Inside was a small lounge. A man was sitting on the sofa. As he hunched nervously into himself, I recognized him from behind. When I walked up to the sofa, he whipped his head around to look at me.
あなたは
It's hard. When he realized it was me, Ray's father immediately relaxed.
例の友達の、家に帰ろうとしてたんですけど、急に呼ばれたから驚いちゃって。あなた、何か知ってます？
I'm so sick of this dude. He smiled thinly. This boot-looking personality of his was probably ingrained in him over time.
これから何があるか知ってるか？
これから？ああ、そう。いきなり連れてこられて。なんだか。
This game's so good at making hateful characters.
レイの試合がある。
試合？
Just then he seemed to remember.
マネーマッチか。レイが出場するってことですよね。
見に行かないのか？
At this, his eyes widened.
見に行く？私がですか？いや、私格闘技とかそういうものには一切興味がなくて。
Towa and I are on the same wavelength because I'm like, don't tell the dude that the debt is paid, but see if like Ray's father will go watch, because that's what I was thinking actually, because you know, for reasons.
マネーマッチの参加も最終的にはレイが自分で決めたことですから。私ができることなんて何もな。
If only you could see me rolling my eyes. Before he could finish his sentence, I punched him in the face as hard as I could.
いきなり何するんですか?
Oh, you know what that's for. It knocked him flat. On his booty. On his flat booty. Flat. Clutching his cheek, he protested up at me from the floor. I looked down at him coldly, then grabbed him by the collar and hauled him up.
ちょっとやめてくださいよ。
いいから来い。
Let's go, baby. And so I dragged him out into the passageway by the collar. I opened the double doors at the end of the hall. We were engulfed in dense, humid air. The dome seats were almost completely filled. Sakaki was sitting on the VIP sofa. As soon as he laid eyes on us, he squinted dubiously.
連れてきたのか?
Duh. Ray's father took one look at Sakaki and stiffened. If I wasn't holding on to him, he probably would have bolted on the spot.
息子の試合を見たことがないらしい。
Work.
なるほどな。ま、いいんじゃねえか。
Sakaki smirked.
今日の対戦相手はすごいぞ。体重100キロ超えの大男でな。
Okay. God help me.
10連勝中だ。だから今日は観客の期
That's
待
a lot
が
of
いつもよ
fights.
り
10
大きい
fights.
ぞ。
I dragged Ray's father over to the sofa where Sakaki sat.
私はどうすれば。
Watch the fight, stupid! Oh, I can't stand. Use your little pea brain. You know, you don't use it for much. as far as I've been told. As far as we have seen.
もうすぐ始まる。黙って見てろ。
Yeah, homeboy thick, like, and not in a good way. Like, thick head. He slumped his shoulders. Man, I want to throw the homie in there because no one would die tonight. Like, ugh. A few minutes later, the arena lights went down. As the eager, excited cheers of the crowd filled the stadium, two men walked up to the stage. Sorry, hold on. Sorry, I didn't know. I don't know. This guy, I like. Who does he look like? Okay, okay. I'm sorry, this is gonna sound so bad. I was like, I had a flash and I was just like, who does this guy look like? And I was like, if it's just like his chin up, it looks like Markiplier. Just not like, just, you know, just a little bit. Like if you just, like, blink, like, really fast, you know? Sorry, okay. Sorry. Let me drink really quick. Ooh. Now that I'm a little less stressed out. Let's get, but I like, you know, I just don't trust Sakaki either. He's just a mess. Ironically, I feel like I trusted Towa no more than I trusted Sakaki. One was the giant brawny man Sakaki had described. He looked like he was 10 feet tall. On the other side stood Ray, and while he was by no means petite, he looked like a child in comparison. Yeah, the dude looks like a fridge, like, you know? Oh boy. I'm scared. The two men walked to the center of the stage and sized each other up. I hope Ray wins, because, like, I don't trust nobody, you know. Also, why does this dude look so happy? You're in a deathmatch, dude. The widescreen monitor displayed their names and faces, and then the countdown began. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. The two men dropped into their fighting stances and began to shift around. Whew, let's go, Ray. Oh my god, I'm stressed. Okay, come on. Ray was the first to make a move, swinging a right hook at his opponent's face. It connected, yet the other man merely sneered. Then he raised his own massive fist. Oh boy. The big guy was faster than he looked. Ray tried to dodge, but ultimately took a hit to the skull. Ow! He staggered a few steps, then regained his balance and looked up. A red line ran down his forehead. He wiped it away with the back of his hand, then charged at the other guy. Oh no! He unleashed a series of punches at his opponent's torso. They all connected, but the man's bulky body seemed to absorb all damage. Oh no. When Ray stopped attacking, the other man laughed and began his counterattack. Oh no. Crossing his arms over his head, Ray adopted a defensive stance. Okay. Ray took punch after punch until finally he fell to one knee. Staggering, he straightened up and glared at the other guy. Roaring fiercely, he charged forward and crouched down. Then he attempted to jump up and kick the other guy in the neck. His opponent dodged, but Ray seemed to have expected that, as his legs swung through empty air. He used the momentum to shift into a roundhouse kick. Work! His foot connected with the big guy's neck. But the other guy just grabbed his leg and flung him. No! Ray hit the floor hard and rolled away. Yeah. Ah! No! The man walked over to where Ray lay and stopped hard on his stomach. He stomped again and again, making Ray grunt and flail. When he finally stopped, Ray rolled over and curled into a ball. Get up, Ray! A torrent of blood and vomit left his mouth. As the crowd screamed, the other man set his foot on Ray's head and slowly put his weight on it. At this rate, Ray was going to lose. Everyone watching was convinced of it. I could feel it in the air, and I could see it in their smoke. As for Ray's smoke, it was as thin as morning mist. A stiff breeze could snuff it out. Truth be told, I'd noticed something off about his smoke ever since the match started. Despite his confidence that he was going to win, his smoke had indicated something else entirely, and now my suspicions were confirmed. At this rate. Just then, a commotion rose up in one of the small sections of the bleachers. I looked over, and nothing could have prepared me for what I saw next. Junko, Honami, and Arata had broken past the security guards and were running down the aisle. I could see Taku just behind them. The group pushed their way through the spectators all the way to the chain link fence at the front. I'm getting emotional.
レイ、起きて、頑張って。
レイ。おいおい、先生はともかくあんなのまで入れていいとは言ってねえぞ。
No, shut up. He looked at me scowling. The security guards attempted to peel the 4 intruders off the fence, but they put up a fight.
ちょっと、やめてよ、触らないで。レイ、早く立って。私たち、あんたを待ってるんだからね。レイが負けるわけないんだから。
レイ、勝つんだろ。
It wasn't clear whether Ray could actually hear them. But he reached up and pushed the other guy's foot off his head. Then he slowly rose to his feet and wiped the blood from his mouth. Breathing heavily, he glared at his opponent. Just then, a sudden impulse struck me, and I shouted,
Ray, yare!
Work! Yeah, yes. This we win. Instantly, his smoke turned bright red, almost like it was on fire. Woo! Sorry, this sounds so weird. I love this CG. I know it's like his one eye is like bleeding, but I'm just like. With a roar, he charged at his opponent. Work. At first, the other man endured Ray's attacks with ease. Partway through, his expressions shifted. Ooh, that's so pretty. You go, baby. Let's go. We need that 300 mil. Ooh, knock him dead. Except this dude won't die because Towa paid for it. So, well, maybe he might. It only pertains to Ray. This dude might perish. As he continued to scream, Ray pummeled the other man with a flurry of punches. Overwhelmed by Ray's onslaught, the man began to inch backwards. Oh, I see, okay. The remorse I see. Ray's father mumbled beside me, his eyes transfixed on his son's life or death struggle.
Rei, ganbare! Makeru na!
I see.
俺が悪かったんだ。だからこんな死ぬんじゃない。
I know there was something in him. Like, he's just like stupid. I still hate him though. He choked the words out at the top of his lungs. Blood dripped from his mouth as Ray continued his barrage. When his opponent finally lost his balance, Ray flung out another roundhouse kick, aimed squarely at his face. Work! Come on, baby! You got it. Okay, it slammed into the side of his head, and with a grunt, he fell flat on his back. The stadium rumbled from the impact, and then all was quiet. Everyone was watching, waiting to see whether the big man was getting back up. But he lay there perfectly still. The giant overhead monitors displayed Ray's face with the text, "Winner." So I'm so excited. I mean, you know, I you know, it wasn't gonna be the winner ending, but I you know, whatever. Sorry. Instantly, the crowd exploded in cheers and whistles. I'm emotional because this chapter made me emotional. Ray stared at the floor, swaying from side to side, like he was about to pass out.
勝っちまったな。
Sakaki seriously thought like Ray was gonna get jacked. Like, with an exaggerated sigh, Sakaki rose to his feet and walked to the door. Ray's father remained frozen, staring wordlessly at his son. His expression was painted with post-grief fatigue. Yeah! Junko and Honami cheered as the security guards arrested them. Sorry, I forgot. They're not supposed to be there. As for Arata and Taku, they were both too stunned to put up a fight, and so they were led away. Ray looked up at the spot where the four of them were standing. Then his gaze shifted over to me. I looked back at him without a word. We held eye contact for a moment, and then his bloody lips curled into a tiny smile. Slow down, bitch. so stressful. So stressful. I hate the Takasato Gumi. I also hate his dad. I still hate his dad. Only feels remorse when it's about to die. After winning his money match, Ray passed out in the waiting room and was taken to the clinic. After that, he slept in the medical ward for close to 24 hours straight. He had a cracked rib, and his entire body was badly bruised. He was in stable condition. And also like a bloody eye. After the match, we learned that Takasato Gumi had disposed of the losing competitor. Duh, yeah, it was only for Ray. It was only for Ray. Ray awoke. Oh, when Ray awoke, I was working on the first floor. Narimura called me upstairs to the medical ward. There, I found Taku standing at Ray's bedside. When Ray spotted me, he slowly looked over.
Towa. 前にもこんなことがあったな。
Was that what that is? Okay, sorry.
いつ？桐原の時。
Oh, that's. Oh, he doesn't, but he doesn't though. I don't think he does.
Ah.
Oh, he does remember. Okay, he smiled. That CG of Ray, so pretty. I was like, oh, oh. With a sigh of relief, Taku smiled and folded his arms.
体力の消耗が激しいが、ゆっくり休めば元気になるだろう。
I know.
本当に心配させやがって。
ごめん。ありがとう。
今はとにかくしっかり体を休めるんだ。
Yeah, just he's gonna get spit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to make a joke. I can't. I can't.
それじゃ、俺は診察に戻る。有村君、少しだけトアの代わりに受付に入ってもらっていいか？
Yeah, please, please. I'm stressed.
わかりました。
I love Haribura. At first, I like did it because you know you're just like, can you like be chill? But I understand. Absolutely.
いろいろと積もる話もあるだろうしな。
Oh yeah. Oh, you betcha. He looked at me. I shrugged.
ま、ほどほどにな。
I'll try not to.
ああ。
And so, Taku and Arimura left the medical ward. After the door closed behind them, I looked back at Ray. Ray smiled awkwardly and looked up at the ceiling.
今、ちょっと頭がうまく回らないから。
Oh, that's okay.
慣れてる言葉遣いで喋っちゃうけど。
It's okay.
いい？
After all these years, his feminine cadence probably came second nature to him. I nodded. Only Ray would ask my permission for something this minor.
気にするな。好きにしろよ。
そっか。ありがとう。今回の試合でね、私 勝つ気ではいたけど、死ぬかもしれないって思ってたの。死んだらトワにもみんなにも会えなくなっちゃうからダメなんだけど、相当強い相手だったし、もしかしたら無理なんじゃないかって。だから全力で戦った。勝つために。でもやっぱり相手がすごく強くて、辛くて苦しくて、途中でダメかなって思ったの。このまま負けるのかなって。でも声が聞こえたのよ。必死で私を応援してくれる声が。そうしたら焦りでいっぱいだった頭の中が少しだけ冷静になって、それでね、もう少し頑張れるって思ってたら、本当に不思議なんだけど、ほんの一瞬時間が止まったみたいに周りの音が聞こえなくなって、トワの声だけが聞こえたの。レイって私を呼ぶ声。ああ、みんなが、トワが今私を見てくれてるんだって思ったら、絶対に負けられないって思って。
My bunny plush fell to the floor. Stop it. I got too many emotions.
そしたらね、ものすごい力が湧いてきて、それで勝てたのよ。
He closed his eyes like he was reliving it in his head.
不思議だったな。あの時名前を呼んでくれたのよね。
Absolutely.
ああ。
He opened his eyes and beamed at me.
ありがとう。みんなにもお礼を言わなきゃね。
そうだな。
I looked at him quietly for a moment.
今回の試合、お前の父親も見てた。
Yes, Towa, just tell him.
そうだったの。
He muttered in an emotionless voice, then looked up at the ceiling.
最後の方はお前に声をかけてた。
全然聞こえなかった。なんて言ってたの？
死ぬなって。
Ray stared at the ceiling in silence for a moment.
そう。
Oh, his smoke! His voice was flat, but from what I could tell, it wasn't steely. His smoke was calm, too.
とは。
My emotions are like up and down. Higher and up and I'm crying in the club. Even if I'm not crying physically, I'm crying on the inside. It's too much for me. He looked over at me, his eyes shimmering.
私の絵描いてくれる？
Of course, baby. Okay, you rest now, honey. Rest up, honey. You did good, kid. You did good. He smiled, relieved.
完成。楽しみにしてる。トワの絵大好きだから。
俺が描いてる間に復活しろよ。
Exactly. So if you want to see, you better rest.
うん。
I reached out and lightly pinched his nose. I love that.
もう一つの約束もな。
Ooh? I told Taku. He gonna get some bed rest, you know what I'm saying? Terrible, sorry. Terrible. When he caught my drift, he blushed bright red and nodded happily. Oh. Okay, I gotta get through it. We're almost done. We're almost done. We're almost done. We're almost there. Oh, come on. All this time, you always saw me for who I was. You accepted me, warts and all. Sorry, I'm like actually emotional. What the heck? It was that selfless gesture that truly healed me. Thank you so much. Wow, man, I'm so emotional. I was not this emotional with Taku. I think it's because there was too much like pew pew gangsters going on. Also, I was mad at Tono the whole time. Oh my gosh. Oh my lord, hold on, I need. Sorry, y'all. Damn. I'm just. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. Woo. After that, I spent the next month straight painting Rei in my room. His euphoric episodes, his death matches, and money matches. Oh, his death matches and money matches. Okay. Queen? Or is that just the default? I don't remember this default CG. I condensed every side of Rei I'd ever seen into the paint on the canvas. Yes. Slow damage. I wanna know, is the painting bussin'? Hope it's bussin'. It better be bussin', I swear. Taku was the one who told Rei about the bet I'd won that resulted in Takaki canceling the rest of the Izumi family's debt. I was in the middle of painting at the time, so I got a message from Rei thanking me. Whoa. As soon as I finished the painting, I got in touch with him, and he rushed over. Wow, that's so pretty. Oh.
Towa!
I looked over my shoulder at him, and he ran over to me, tears in his eyes.
借金返済の話、メッセージもしたけど、本当にありがとう。
あ
あた、俺のために勝負してくれたの？
Of course.
向こうが誘ってきたからな。それに乗っただけだ。
As I mumbled, exhausted from all the painting, Rei's expression crumpled on the verge of tears.
ありがとう。とは。ありがとう。
He wiped his eyes and smiled.
さあ、ヘロヘロのトワのために何か買ってこなくちゃね。
Oh yeah, we better
酒
make
と
it
タ
work.
バコ。
Never change Towa.
それはダメ。
Oh boy. He started to head for the door, and stopped and turned back.
絵はもったいないから後でゆっくり見るね。すっごく楽しみ。
ああ。
I nodded slightly. He beamed and left the room. With the debt repaid, Rei was free from the Takasato Gumi's clutches. Once the injuries he sustained during the money match had healed, he gradually returned to his jobs at Roost and the clinic. Then one afternoon, Rei's father turned up out of the blue, asking to see his son. Rei was working at the clinic that day, and when he found out his dad was here, he looked conflicted. Normally he would have refused to meet with him without a second thought. That day, he reluctantly agreed. We invited his dad into the staff room, where I served as the mediator. His dad bowed deeply to him and explained that when he witnessed his own son fighting tooth and nail to survive, it opened his eyes. Yeah, I bet it did. He claimed to have seen the error of his ways and turned over a new leaf. Meanwhile, Rei stared at the floor without saying a word. After everything his father had said and done, no one expected him to magically change his tune. I certainly didn't. I had a feeling this new leaf wouldn't last too long. Yeah. That he... In the moment, he probably feels guilt, but it's like... Those kind of people just don't really change. Like, even if it does stick to an extent, like where he's at least like, you know, sad and thankful to Ray, that might be the only thing that changes. You know, the rest of him is like bottom of the barrel mold type of beat, you know. But after a long silence, they finally looked up and said, "All right." He remained silent for the rest of the conversation. Then his dad told him he'd be in touch again and left the clinic. Afterwards, when I asked Ray how he felt, he told me he wasn't sure. He said he hadn't forgiven his father, because you don't have to, because he's scum of the earth, and wasn't eager to see him again. Also valid. But I don't hate him with a passion anymore, he told me quietly. It's part of the healing. It's okay. Part of the healing process. It's okay to heal. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. From there, Ray slowly began to change. His ginger expression gradually became more masculine over time. He still took part in death matches. These days, he no longer seemed reckless to the point of suicide. Now he fought his battles with confidence rather than desperation, sorry. It looks similar. Then one day, he looked me in the eyes and told me he had a favor to ask. Apparently there was something he really wanted the two of us to do together. Is it the dessert buffet? When he told me what that something was, I agreed. Is it the dessert buffet? Is it a body mod? Which brings us to today. A motorcycle ride? Where are we going? It is a motorcycle ride! Water bottle in hand, I leaned against the motorcycle parked on the side of the road. The ocean stretched before me, shining bright blue. The sky was clear, and I could see its color fading faintly all the way into the horizon. It was early summer now, and the weather was getting hotter, but the salty sea breeze felt nice. Smiling, I took a sip of water, then lowered the zipper on my full-body motorcycle suit. As it turned out, Ray wanted the two of us to go on a trip together. Part of it was purely for the fun of traveling, but he also wanted to meet with other body artists around the world. In particular, there were a lot of body art events held outside of Japan, and he wanted to deepen his comprehension of the field. But he wanted to take his time touring our home country first, so he decided to start with a motorcycle road trip. Oh, that's right, because he can leave Shinkomi! Woohoo! So there we were on the mainland, at a beach famed for its beauty. At the moment, Ray was off asking the locals about the best restaurants in the area. According to him, asking around was a way faster way to find out about the hidden gems compared to searching online. Mood, that's correct, yeah. 1000%, honey.
Towa,
he cut his hair! How cute! Aww. I mean, he didn't have to cut it, but you know what? I'm glad Ray's happy, and that is what matters. Looks a little, I can't lie, it looks just a tad like, sorry, Itadori Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen. Just like, if you're short hair. I'm so sorry. I think that's why I'm kind of like, it's really short. He crossed the street and ran up next to me. He was wearing a color variation of the same motorcycle suit. He was the one who bought them for us. I tried to explain that I didn't need anything fancy since I wouldn't be driving, but he insisted. First glance, the suits look tight and restrictive, but when I put it on, I found it surprisingly easy to move. Well, it's a sports jacket. I mean, sportswear technically. So he told me he custom ordered them. Oh, bless. Oh, it's like yellow, gray, blue, gray. Oh, cute. Okay. Did they tell you any good restaurants?
海鮮が美味しい店があるんだって。
Oh.
この先をもう少し走ると看板が出てるって。
そうか。
Cool.
ああ、腹減った。
Me too. Me too. Shutting up at the sky, he ran a hand through his much shorter hair.
ならとっとと行くぞ。
Let's go, bestie.
でも待って。
Yeah.
もうちょっと海を見てからにする。
Yes.
腹減ってんだろ。
I thought you said you were hungry.
少しくらい我慢できるって。
Oh, cute. Oh, even his earrings changed. Oh. Laughing, he turned back to the sea. It was still early in the season, and there weren't many visitors at the beach, just the occasional jogger or dog walker here and there. The white waves spread on the ocean's blue surface, reflecting the blinding sunlight. I gazed out at the peaceful scenery, then reached a hand in my direction. Hey?
なんだよ。
水ちょうだい。
Oh, okay. I handed him the water bottle. He uncapped it and chugged it down. Exhaling, he returned it to me.
Towa.
At the sound of my name, I looked over. He smiled.
楽しいね。
急になんだ。
だってこんな風にトワと旅行できるなんて夢にも思わなくて。
As he spoke, his gaze shifted back to the deep blue sea.
ずっとたくさん夢にも思わなかったことが連続して起きてる。
そうか。
Oh, I cut him off. I'm so sorry.
もう嫌だって思って死にたくなったり、何もかも放り出してしまいたいって何度も思ったけど、そうしなかったから今こうしてるんだって実感してる。本当に辛くて死にたかった時はさ、こんな未来があるなんて想像もできなかったし、自分が歩いていく先に何が起きてどうなるのかなんて誰にもわからない。いろんな選択をしてきっといっぱい間違えてもいて、それでも生きていくしかなくて、過去に起きた嫌なことに対してそういうこともあったから良かったなんて結果論は言いたくないし、みじんも思わないけど、少なくとも死ななくてよかったかな。俺がこうしてここにいられるのは生きているからこそだから。
そうだな。
As I gazed up at the sky, Ray looked over at me, his eyes brimming with curiosity.
トワはどう思ってる？
How do you feel, Towa? I thought for a moment, then looked back at him.
俺は別に過去がどうとか思ったことはない。けど新興海の路地裏で泥酔して倒れてるようなやつがこんな青空の下で海を眺めてるってのは俺も予想してなかったな。
At this, he grinned from ear to ear. Oh my gosh, wait, the CGs. Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm like, I don't even think my microphone's catching the weird noises that I'm making. And he planted a quick kiss on my cheek. I shot him a sidelong glance and found him beaming happily.
これからもっともっと幸せになろうね。
Oh goodness, okay. Ooh, this song's a bop. Hold on. Hold on. Hey, 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 I don't know if I can play this. I might have to talk over this. Hold on. Oh, no. Dude, momento. Okay, hold on, just a teeny tiny bit. Okay. Oh, yep, that, okay. Okay, so anyway, I don't know if you can hear this, but anyway, just in case it's like, no, and I'm like, okay. So, oh man, okay, so these credits take a while. Wait, I've watched them like, what, like this is like the fourth time? Yeah, this is like the fourth time. So, so what are my afterthoughts? Well, okay, well, first of all, yeah, sorry, I didn't think I'd actually like cry. I didn't really cry. I teared up for the most part, but you could hear me. Why did I just didn't feel that much like emotional pull in Taku's rap, because again, it was like, I think it was just like there's a lot of action, so it was like I didn't have time to like feel sad. And also Taku's issues were very like cut and dry. You know, he was like, he's closed off because at least his debt was something that he chose. It's something, it was something within his power, if that makes sense. In Ray's case, it's like everyone just decided to like go against him, and I was like, I hated Sakaki in this chapter. Like, I hated him, and I know like it's supposed to kind of you know, Tono and Sakaki are supposed to be like the reflections of each other, and remember, like, they are gangsters, so it's like they're not all good. You know, it's like how like the homies, you know, Eiji, my bestie Eiji, you know, Igarashi, my other bestie, and then like Kotaro and Mayu, like they're kind of odd, and they're not like, they don't seem like the worst people ever, like, you know, but they're still gangsters, right? And oh man, I'm so like, I feel like what Sakaki did was like so awful. You know, I was just like, I can't believe this. He thought of this whole time. You know, because he's like, oh, we were gonna ask like Izumi Sr. to do it, but we found out that Izumi Jr.'s son is up in the club with them death matches, and that he's a really famous deathmatch person. And I was just like, oh, you did not. And they really did manipulate Day into like fighting the money matches. And I'm just like, I can't believe this. Hate it here. Everybody sucks. All Takasato Gumi suck. I hate it. Stop. Okay, now that we're on the front page here. Okay. Alright, we're back in business. Okay. Oh man. Okay, so let's take a... Can I... Oh, oh, okay. I was like, hello. Oh. Ooh. The painting change, huh? Okay, let's see. Hello? 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 Oh, this one? Right? Okay. I was like, how did I access this before? What's this? What is this television here? Ah! Okay. Navigation, exploration. Oh, I haven't gone through this yet. Izumi. Ah. Intel West. Question. Okay. Bring me back. Ooh, okay, let's take a look. Ooh. Contradiction, nostalgia. is a brother. Please. Nostalgia. Okay. So this is nostalgia, this is contradiction. Oh, okay. Wow. Ooh, okay. Ooh, oh, am I missing? What is this? Hold up. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Oh, this is the painting. I was like, why is it black? And I'm like, oh, it's because the painting is, okay, I see. I see. I have seen. Okay, hold on. Wow. This one's pretty. Ooh. This one's dope. I'm down with it. Okay. I think though, like the Kirihara's is really cool. I think I have this thing. I love teeth. So anything with like teeth, whether it's scary or pretty, or like scary or like not scary, it's like I think it's so cool. But Sakura's painting is growing on me, but I'm just like, he just pales in comparison to like, you know, like Kirihara's. That was dope. And then like Rei's is so pretty. But like I said, Ikuina's is like so like, yes, like that was, yeah. And I know he's the first painting, but I really love Taku's painting. Because it's like, to get this effect, you have to put something over it. So this has to be painted a particular way. So you have to put something over and then put the paint and the shapes and the blah 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 blah. Okay. But anyway, enough of my pretentious art opinions. Sorry. Oh, photos. Let's see. Oh, girl. Work. They. Okay. Well, all right, kids. That is the conclusion of today's route of slow damage. Oh my gosh. So, I think I've explained it during the route, but how do I put this? So now that I finish it, I think my statement that I said before, where I was like, the chapter did feel very, very long. I don't want to say I mean that in a bad way, but it is a little on the negative side, because I was just like, I just feel like it dragged, like Rei's absence in the chapter. I think that was too long. I feel like if he was just absent for just like, you could just literally cut out the absence part for a little bit and it would still have the same impact, because it's like Rei's not like a person to like not say how he feels. Technically he's the emotional character, like the very emotionally intact character, or he's very in tune with his emotion. He's very hard on his sleeves kind of person. Taku is the one who's like very, very guarded, but like in this chapter I found Rei to be more guarded than Taku. But I think that's also because Taku and Rei are supposed to also kind of be like reflections of each other. There's a lot of pairs in this game, if that makes sense. You know, because Kotaro and Mayu are technically a pair, even though they're a trio with Eiji. And I guess you can kind of say Igarashi and Eiji are reflections of each other, because Igarashi may act on his own, but like Eiji and Igarashi they're like your allies of information. And then there's Sakaki Tono, and then there's I don't know Madarame, and I don't know Fujieda that much, but so I don't know to say that Madarame and Fujieda are like reflections of each other. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, regardless, it's like, it's kind of similar to like, you know, Ikuina doesn't have a pair technically. I don't know if he does, but because I haven't started the other routes. But it's like, see, like Kirihara is chapter 2 of Rei, Asakura is chapter 2 of Taku. So I will say I'm really loving the setup and concept of slow damage. I'm having such a great time enjoying it and playing it. So regardless of my critiques or my complaints or my negative kind of like discussions, like negative quotation marks, I'm overall very much enjoying slow damage. And in fact, I mean, I'm complaining about the longness, quotation marks, long story perception I have of Ray's story. But Ray's story made me cry. Like, it made me, you guys heard me. It made me, I didn't like cry bawling, but it's like, it did make me very sad the whole time. Like, I felt very like emotional for Ray. I felt very sad for Ray. Like, every time Ray was sad, I felt sad with him. And I think that's always impressive. Whereas like with Taku, it's not that I didn't feel sad for Taku. It's just that like, I felt as if I didn't need to cry with Taku, if that makes sense. Again, I mentioned it earlier. Taku chose to make his bed and then lie in it. And then lie in it so much that he thought he couldn't get up from it anymore, right? Whereas Ray is just, you know, Ray was just trying his best to like live, right? Ray was just struggling to live, to exist, to be with like in any kind of peace. And I think the only thing is that Ray's chapter just has so much going on. There's a lot. I love, you know, I was very excited for Ray's chapter because I was excited to like to learn more about like the deathmatch area and like that aspect of Shinkomi, because it's a place where, you know, the Takasato Gumi doesn't really bother, right? It's like it's the kind of place of freedom over there, right? Oh man, but this chapter was just like a lot of like feelings and emotions, and as you guys saw, it's like I was like I'm just sad, and then at the very like at the climax of it all, I'm just like you know, and I'm like, Ray's not gonna die, but at the same time, I was just like, I don't trust Sakaki though. Like this, Sakaki was awful in this chapter because, like I said, Tono was just up front. Tono's just like, nope, that's me. Like, no wonder. I now understand why Tono and Sakaki are at odds. Like, it's just like, Tono is at least like, yeah, it is what it is. Like, that's it. But Sakaki is like a snake, like a full snake. So it's no wonder Sakaki would become the new leader of Takasato Gumi because of the way he functions. Because he's a lot more clever and a lot. I don't know if he's smarter than Tono, but I feel like he has like a lot more resources than like Tono. You know, I think he has a little more support, but I also feel like, but Takasato Gumi was kind of split down the middle anyway. But man, that was a wild ride. You know, it ain't no Asakura. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, like you know, Kirihara's chapter was really interesting, and then pairing it with Ray's chapter, I was like, oh, so interesting, because it's also kind of like, it essentially was about family. You know, Kirihara was like, it was his brother, whereas Ray was his father. But we also talk about how, you know, they don't really say, like, they don't say it in the exact words, but Ray very much cherishes his found family, which is Taku, Junko, Honami, and Arata, and Towa, you know, and his manager at the bar. You know? It's like he very much cherishes that, those relationships he has. And again, yeah, his father being remorseful for at least once in the chapter, yeah, it's kind of corny, but you know, I think in a chapter about a person as secretly sad as Ray, like internally like in despair so much. I need, you know, it's like, even if it's corny, and it's like, and like again, even if Ray's father doesn't actually change, like, you know, wholly, I mean, it's implied that's, you know, his apology to Ray, it's like, that was the only time I'm aware of that Ray's father has ever apologized to him. Because the entire chapter, like, you know, he's always like, oh, I'm sorry, my son's so dramatic. Oh, you know, we're family. He should do this for me. But then when he finally saw his son, like, and his son almost died because he didn't know that Ray wasn't gonna die, because of Towa. You know, some people just really need to be pushed a certain way. Some people are impossible. Some people don't. Some people aren't like Ray's father, where it's like he finally sees and opens his eyes and feels remorse, but because he's been avoiding his responsibilities too. But you know, yeah, Ray. But you know, like Ray said, it's just like that little bit. Even if Ray's father returns his crap, at least Ray gets some sort of like closure in some aspect. You know what I mean? And I think Ray deserves that. You know, at the very least, he suffered enough. He suffered a lot, and boy, I'm glad. I don't know if I'm gonna get any of these. I know there's bad endings. Like, there's always a bad ending. Otherwise, what's the point of the visual novel, right? There's always a good ending, a bad ending, and then some little guys in between. So, okay. Oh gosh. That was like. The ending was very satisfying to me. I don't know, it might not be satisfying for others, but for me, it's pretty satisfying because again, it didn't promise that Ray's dad is suddenly gonna be like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna change my life, and, you know, I'm so sorry, and blah 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 blah. No, if he ends up like dead again, they throw him in the water, goodbye. But I think it's like at least one good gesture in his life to Ray could help. Just, you know, just a little bit. But okay. So next time I believe we're gonna do Madarame's route, because I think he's third. Because there's like I know there's an order to this, and my man's Fujieda is last. So have mercy on me. But oh man, okay, I can't believe we're halfway through. Oh my gosh, I thought I'd never get here because it takes me forever to get through this game, and it's not because I'm like making myself. It's like, no, it's just there's so much going on, and I'm just like, whew. I was just like, I want to make sure I get everything. So anyway, I don't know what month it is as this airs, but so I'm not gonna mention anything, but you know, again, as always, please check out You Can Smooch Tho, my podcast about all things boys love and other related items. If you want more BL type of gig in this house, yes, we talk about all things boys love and other related items. As I mentioned, it's available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. I'm working on a possible YouTube situation, and I'll let you know when that's up. But otherwise, thank you guys again for joining me here. We are halfway through. It's very exciting. I don't know if I'm gonna explore the bad ends on stream, or if I'll just do like a little compilation and make it a little easier for us, because I'm probably gonna have to cut out and highly censor most of those. So we're gonna see if there's even anything I can post up anyway. So, all right. Thank you guys, as always, for joining me and watching with me and watching me cry over the 2D boys again. So hopefully I can see you guys soon. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay well. Get a lot of rest. as I will now. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. Good night.